Hello and welcome back to another enriching episode on Black Pearls, Distinguished Women of Color, where we pay homage to remarkable women who have made significant impacts in society. Our spotlight today shines on a brave and inspirational figure, a woman who used her voice as a potent weapon against racial and gender discrimination, Ida B. Wells, the first Black woman to lead a national anti-lynching campaign and a pioneer of investigative journalism. Ida B. Wells was born on July 16, 1862, in Holly Springs, Mississippi, to enslaved parents. She was freed by the Emancipation Proclamation during the Civil War, but she faced many hardships and challenges in her early life. She lost both her parents and her youngest brother in a yellow fever epidemic when she was 16 years old. She took charge of raising her 5 remaining siblings and worked as a teacher to support them. She also attended Rust College and Fisk University to further her education. Ida B. Wells moved to Memphis, Tennessee in 1884, where she became a journalist and an activist. She wrote for several Black newspapers under the pen name Iola, exposing the injustices and inequalities faced by African Americans in the South. She also sued a railroad company for forcibly removing her from her seat in a ladies' car after she refused to move to a segregated car. She won the case in a lower court, but it was later overturned by the Tennessee Supreme Court. In 1892, Ida B. Wells experienced a turning point in her life when 3 of her friends were lynched by a white mob in Memphis. They were successful Black businessmen who owned a grocery store that competed with a white-owned store. Wells was outraged by this brutal act of violence and decided to dedicate her life to fighting against lynching. She launched an editorial campaign in her newspaper, the Memphis Free Speech and Headlight, denouncing lynching as a form of racial terrorism and calling for its end. She also conducted extensive research and interviews to expose the lies and myths that were used to justify lynching, such as the accusation of rape or assault of white women by Black men. Ida B. Wells's anti-lynching crusade made her a target of white supremacists who threatened her life and destroyed her newspaper office. She had to flee Memphis and move to Chicago, where she continued her work as a journalist, lecturer, and organizer. She published 2 pamphlets on lynching, Southern Horrors, Lynch Law in All Its Phases, 1892, and The Red Record, Tabulated Statistics and Alleged Causes of Lynching in the United States, 1895. She also traveled across the country and abroad to raise awareness and mobilize support for her cause. She founded several anti-lynching organizations, such as the National Association of Colored Women and the National Afro-American Council. She also helped form the NAACP in 1909. Ida B. Wells was not only an anti-lynching crusader, but also a feminist and a suffragist. She advocated for women's rights and equality, especially for Black women who faced multiple forms of oppression. She challenged sexism and racism within the women's suffrage movement, which often excluded or marginalized Black women. She also founded the Alpha Suffrage Club in Chicago, which was the first Black women's suffrage organization in Illinois. Ida B. Wells married Ferdinand L. Barnett, a lawyer and an editor, in 1895 and had 4 children with him. She balanced her family life with her public life, never giving up on her passion for justice and freedom. She died on March 25, 1931, at the age of 68. Ida B. Wells was a courageous and influential woman who used her voice and her pen to expose the truth and challenge the status quo. She was a trailblazer who paved the way for generations of Black women journalists and activists who followed in her footsteps. She was awarded the Pulitzer Prize Special Citation posthumously in 2020 for her outstanding contribution to American journalism. Thank you for watching this episode of Black Pearls, Distinguished Women of Color. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And don't forget to check out our other videos on amazing Black women who have made history. Until next time, stay inspired.